to Roundtable Decision. I'm your host, Wart Bergenoff. And today's video is about COVID-19, but not in the typical way you think of COVID-19. As many people have lost their jobs due to COVID-19, are temporarily unemployed because of COVID-19, are working more because of COVID-19, it has all impacted their lives, and many people in cities and in other economic situations have had to be in self-quarantine and have not been able to go out anywhere else besides the necessary places such as getting groceries. But in this time, we have picked up various sorts of hobbies or situations that we find ourselves doing more. For my purpose, I am a college student, and although we are currently out of, we're still in a semester, technically, and we're still on break, spring break, because of the COVID-19 as the school tried to figure out what to do. I've been catching up on math homework and trying to get ahead. And I apologize if that's why I look a little tired, as I have picked up this book, Finance Maths for Business and Economics. And let's just say that it is very boring and it has made me very tired in both a mental and physical way. And long story short, I do not like math, and that is not a hobby I have picked up. But for the purpose of today's video, I was more going to talk about what to do in particular since you're in quarantine and you're all bored, including myself and the ones who are watching this video now. So my tip for this self-quarantine is a two-faced tip. The first tip is do something you like as a hobby. So if you like baking, go ahead and bake more, as it's obviously something you enjoy. And doing something you enjoy is going to help your self-esteem and everything around you and just improve your life in every way, as it is something you enjoy. But I also suggest picking up something you don't like, but because you have extra time and something's challenging, you can pick that something what's challenging and something you don't like up in order to kind of overcome it as a whole. And I'm not saying something that's challenging what makes you upset or makes you mad. I'm more talking about something that you find hard to do and try to pick that up and expand on it. So for my purpose, I have always enjoyed writing, but I haven't always enjoyed reading, as I have dyslexia and reading has become a issue in a large part of my life. So it's not really something I've always enjoyed doing because it was a real struggle at some points in my life. But I've been trying to challenge myself through something I do kind of like in writing, and I've started to, I haven't really started. I've been writing this medieval book that I've been plotting out for over a year now, and although it's been over a year, I only have 10 pages to it so far, which doesn't sound like much, even though it's always been on my mind, but it's just because it's hard to do, and it's hard for me to really expand my thoughts because I never really have seen or read anything similar to what I'm trying to do. So trying to create something completely from scratch and it still being realistic, as that's what I want it to be, is something that's proven to be rather hard. So I have picked up the book from George R.R. Martin and Game of Thrones. I've watched the TV series, as many Americans and people worldwide have. And since I'm making a medieval book, even though this is a medieval fantasy book, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go completely that direction or just keep it to a medieval genre, it's still in a medieval type-ish book. So I've decided that I would pick it up because first off, I've watched the TV show and is really interested in it. And second off, it's a challenge to me and it's related to my book I've been in the process of making, or long story / short story I've been in the process of making if it doesn't end up being a novel. So I'm going to start reading this book before I go to bed every night and just kind of make myself read it in the process of hoping to enjoy it, even though it is challenging, and till it comes more of a interest or more of a hobby than something that I'm making myself do. And that's kind of what I'm challenging you to do through this quarantine, because you do have the extra time now and you are bored and you're tired. And for me, and I know a lot of other people have had this experience, you're tired of just sitting on the couch and watching TV or movies all the time. You would rather do something a little different. But even though reading you can sit down and do, it's still better than, and still takes more of concentration than just watching a movie or a TV show, especially for me who finds it somewhat challenging to read. So if you pick up something that you find a little challenging to do and you end up making yourself like it, you'll be better off as a person as a whole. For me, with it being reading related to something I do like with writing. So long story short, even though it may seem odd to pick up something you don't like and make yourself do it, I do think that in the end, the result will be something you would like to do. And since you have time, you might as well try it. Thank you for watching, and catch me next time.